Hey guys, magandang gabi po. So, welcome to our vlog, and today's topic we will be discussing about real estate. Basically, of course, a lot of us are wanting to have our own homes. And of course, a lot of Filipinos are saving up. Actually, in order for them to save up, a lot of them are actually working really, really hard. Not just one job, pero minsan double job, just in order for them to actually have their so-called own property.
Yeah.
Now, like for me, me and my wife actually purchased a house last year, which is 2020. And at that time, we were just more of wanting to go for the design, the aesthetics.
Yeah.
And so basically, right now, we are making this video to actually educate Filipinos,
totally.
not just Filipinos, but of course, other nationalities who are more interested in buying, lalo na
Totally.
if this is going to be their first time buying a house. And I have invited a friend who's actually a realtor slash interior designer. Ito, like ito, nahihiya naman ako kasi ito lang yung provide namin na interior design.
Ang ganda nga eh.
So, and basically, of course, as I go through this, through this topic, my friend, who I will be introducing to you in a bit, will actually also share her own experiences, information, her expertise in buying a property, not just buying a property, but of course, selling a property.
Yeah.
And so basically, we just wanted to let you know that this is not a legal advice, okay? We are not providing any legal advice. This is just a caveat, just a warning. And of course, a different client, different people will have different facts, different circumstances.
Yeah.
So basically, we will, us lawyers and realtors can only provide any advice based on the facts that clients have actually provided us in full. Okay, just a caveat lang ha.
Yeah.
Wag niyong isipin na this is a holy Bible or
Yeah,
parang,
no, it's not written in stone.
okay, so I would like to introduce to you my friend, who's a realtor slash interior designer.
Because nahiya ako.
Yeah, so Miss Catherine Manigos. And Miss Catherine Manigo, welcome to the vlog, welcome to the channel, and can you please introduce yourself more?
Hello, as you said, my name is Catherine Manigo. So I'm a licensed real estate agent here in the province of Alberta.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, province of Alberta, it's because like we're not only a realtor here in Edmonton, but also like other neighboring cities like St. Albert, we can also do that,
Yeah.
buying and selling. Morinville, Sherwood Park, like Fort Saskatchewan and other stuff. Like you can,
Edmonton region.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Beaumont.
Yeah,
is that
yeah.
Leduc?
Yeah, Leduc, Beaumont, Wetaskiwin, except Red Deer. So Red Deer is a different jurisdiction, and also Calgary. Fort McMurray, different one. But I can made a referral. Like within the office, like we ask, hey, do you know a
Okay.
realtor like within
Okay.
Maxwell, where my brokerage
Okay.
is? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so basically, if you want to purchase a house, of course, and if you need guidance or assistance from a realtor, please go. Okay, nandiyan ang aking... nandyan. Sorry, kasi it's time for my Christmas lights to turn on. So, thank you for that brief introduction, Catherine. How long have you been doing this real estate industry?
So I have been doing this for like 2 years and a half. So just before COVID.
Oh!
Just before COVID time. So prior to that, so usually when you do the exams to take the realtor courses, like 6 months yun within there's certain time, but then I am a full-time mom. My kids are into sports and other stuff, plus I have work. I have a full-time work. So it took me like a year or so to finish everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so fairly new.
Fairly new. Pero
Fairly-
it seems as if lahat ng clients na nire-refer niyo sa akin ay puro mga well-advised clients.
Salamat.
Yeah. So, okay. So, let's just go to the basics now that we want to go and purchase a house. Okay? Guide us, Kat, how to go about purchasing a house. Of course, there are different builders out there. There are different properties out there. Can you actually provide our viewers the different properties that are being sold. Yun yung mga single family, duplex. What are the different types of properties that are available in the market right now?
Yeah, so there are so first of all there are only like two classifications.
Okay.
So yun yung single family at saka condo.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
So and then yung style is like detached homes,
Okay.
duplex, attached yung may attached garage and townhomes.
Okay.
Now a lot of Filipinos, or not only Filipinos but a lot of people thought that a townhomes, yung apat, they are not single family homes. They thought that they're condo. Some of them are condominium, which they pay monthly.
Okay.
So you have condo fees. So that's just the style. Like yung raw housing, yung parang apat, that's just the style, but doesn't mean that they're condo. And also there are duplex that are also condominium.
Oh.
There are also single family home na ang classification niya is condominium. You will not know until you are the owner of the property, or you will not know until you look at this house. Yeah. So, different style lang. So, yung classification, single family home at saka condo. So, a townhouse style can be a single family home.
Or it can be a condo.
Or it can be a condo. So, that means that you own the lot
Okay.
and the property. Yung parang yung backyard mo, you own that as well. So, yung may mga townhouse na walang backyard, it's because townhouse na condominium yung specification, it's because it is a shared property.
Oh.
Yeah, kaya wala silang walang fence. Yeah, kasi shared, parang common area niya yan.
Okay.
So meron ding yung apartment style na condominium.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yung apartment, 'di ba yung iba is rentals, but yung iba is condo.
Yeah. So basically, is it safe to assume na ang condo, to separate condo from a single family, is that ang condo, meron kang parang maintenance that you pay every month? Is that something that is defined as a condo?
Yeah, so not just maintenance, but it's also your condo fee goes towards like one of it is your maintenance, and also like the property insurance you're paying for that.
Okay.
And another thing is the reserve fund studies, like the money goes towards there when something is broken or something needs to get fixed. So that's why you guys, the people in the condos, are not paying for that because they have so much money on the reserve fund study. So that's where the condominium management take the money out.
Oh, okay.
So that's why you're paying. And also, depends on the management. They actually clean the driveway for you or clean everything. But some areas or some property management, they have less fees because they let the owners shovel their driveway or do the maintenance. So it depends. Depende talaga.
Okay.
But some condos doesn't have monthly fee. So that means that you have to do everything. Kung may masira, so you will have to fix all the stuff yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to know that
Yeah.
we know different types of property, which is the single family and condo, and of course classification, as Catherine has discussed. So it's more of shared or common areas, ika nga. So probably it's the difference is more of like there are dues that are being paid every month to maintain, or of course reserve funds or what, something like that. Now, mas mura ba ang condo, yung condo style, di ba? Single family and condo, is it cheaper to buy a condo rather than a single family?
You know, it really depends on the need of the individual. Like if you like some people they prefer condo, it's because that is the only amount that they were approved.
Okay.
And then they wanted to own a property because instead of renting, so that money that you rent go like just
Pay
flush
as-
down the drain,
True.
right? So instead of renting, some people just buy a condo as a starter home.
Okay, as a starter home. Okay.
Yeah. So then they will build equity from there and then purchase a bigger house.
A bigger house, ika nga, di ba?
Yeah.
Kasi ang condo, magkano ba how much usually ang range ng condo?
Yeah, so it depends. Like there are condominiums na 100, like 120, 140, yung mga ganyan lang. And those are old condominiums. Like, there are even like 140 and
Yeah.
townhomes. We're talking about townhomes
Yeah.
na 1971.
Yeah.
It's even older than me. Oh, di ba?
Pero, mind you, those 1970
May mga sakit na yan.
houses, may sakit, but
Yeah.
if they withstand the test of time, they're very durable.
Yeah, but then you're paying more condo fees.
Oh, because of the upkeep.
Yeah. So for example, if you're buying like, so you're only approved. Let's say you're only approved to less than 200, and then you wanted to get a house. So usually, say, yeah, just buy a condo just for a start. So they buy a condo 100. Let's say 174, and then you have a down payment. So you will have to get ready about 10 grand, and depending on the interest rates.
Yeah.
Yeah, depending on the interest rate, so then you will have to pay like less than 1,000 monthly on that. And that's minsan kasama na yung property tax because you will also pay property taxes regardless of what you own. Then may HOA pa yan, yung homeowners association on top of the condo fee.
Yeah.
So it's really depends on the need. So it's not that yes, it is cheaper because the price of the condo is way cheaper than owning a house. Kasi yung talagang single family homes right now, I'm talking about right now, not previous months. So right now, it's pricey. It's pricey, like 360, 370s, mga ganyan,
Okay.
340. So, like less than 300, yung may mga bagong condo, like townhomes that are less than 300. So,
Okay, so we will get into that now. So basic is more of like when you're starting to actually look for a house, of course, you have your own preference, diba? A lot
Yeah.
of us have our own preference. Most of us want to live in a condo. Most of us want to have their own single family detached home. And of course, they know for a fact that it's not cheap to actually look for a house. I mean, buying a house is not cheap, diba? Very expensive. As you
it
said,
is very expensive.
it could go from 120 to upwards to 1 million. If you're
1
planning
million.
on buying a mansion, of course, 1 million is the minimum, diba? Pero if you're a regular or commoner in Canada,
250.
diba? So the point is, the problem is a lot of people actually disregard or do not know that in buying a house or a property, there are some corresponding costs, related costs
Yeah.
that are attached to buying a house. It's not just buying the house per se, but it's more of the related costs once you start owning the
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
Now, what is your advice? For example, okay, Kat, I come to you now. Kat, I'm looking for a property. Can you look for a property? That's where realtors are for. So basically, they will help you and assist you in guiding and finding a property for you.
Yeah.
Basically, realtors are there to actually find a house that you want to purchase.
Yeah.
Okay, any of the, for example, they will ask you about the amount that your budget. Okay, say for example, my budget is $500 to $700,000.
Yeah, but wait. But
Okay.
first of all, they have to get an approval.
Okay, tama. Okay, approval.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have to speak to a mortgage specialist. If they're comfortable going to the bank, they can talk to the mortgage specialist. Or if they know a mortgage broker, they can talk to a mortgage broker. If they don't know anyone and they can talk to a realtor, we don't give them pre-approval. It's a licensed mortgage broker or a mortgage specialist, yung nasa bank. So first of all, don't just go. You can go like just like, yung parang ano mo lang, like, hey, you just want houses. You just wanna look for houses. But then, sasakit lang yung dibdib mo kasi you're not ready yet. Yung parang financially you're not ready. But also,
Agree.
it's a good motivation. Like, oh, this one is, it's
True.
nice. Then you will save up money.
Exactly.
So for you to proceed, you have to get an approval. Or pre-approval doesn't mean that you're approved. So that means, pre-approval, it's just like based on the questions that was being asked to you. That was just pre-approval. there are a lot of assumptions that pre-approval amount, for example, 450, and that's your being approved. No, it isn't. So after this, just kaya nga pre-approval, di ba? And then by the time na you get the final approval, it could change. Depends on the circumstance, like, or whatever it is. Like, pag pull ng ano mo, marami parang nakikita
Utang.
doon. Yes, so that's why na lilasan na yung pre-approval.
Approved,
So that's the first thing that you need to do. Kasi once you're pre-approved, then you are able to determine how much, like the cost of the house that you're buying. And when you buy a house, there are costs also that comes with it. So aside from your down payment na 5%, we call this as a closing cost. So closing cost is you have to have that extra money to be able to finish the transactions in real estate. So that means that's aside from down payment.
Yeah.
So closing cost, it's like the lawyer's fee plus disbursement. So lawyer's fee, yung parang 600 to 800 yata yung range. Tama ba?
Yeah, I will
Patty?
discuss that later.
So yan yung lawyer's fee.
Yeah.
So you have to get ready with that plus disbursement. But if you're buying a new house, like new build, usually builders waive the lawyer's fee if you use their lawyer. So they waive the lawyer's fee. You only have to pay the disbursement fee. So that's the lawyer's fee. And then another thing that you have to bear in mind is the inspection. So for inspection, the rate is like $350 above, depends on the square footage of your house. So if you're purchasing a condo, the third one is you have to save up money, or you have to get ready for the condo docs review. And these are like less than 500, but it's not 300, between 350 above for the condo docs review. So that's the three basic ones that you have to get ready aside from your down payment. So again, it's the lawyer's fee plus disbursement, kasi nakakalimutan na may disbursement fee.
Yeah.
And then inspection fees, and then condo docs review.
Okay. So, first things first, it's very clear. Okay? Hindi lang si Kat ang nagsasuggest ito or nagre-recommend, but I also recommend this. I guess all real estate conveyancers, all realtors, all lawyers, or anyone who actually has experience owning a house or buying a house will always recommend that you go to the bank first, okay, and have yourself pre-approved. Why? Because you might be shocked if, for example, you do try to, let's say you found a very beautiful house worth $700,000, okay? Unfortunately, you're only allowed to actually borrow money until $500,000.
Yeah.
The problem is a lot of buyers do not know this or do not take this into consideration. Kasi as long as they have 700,000, okay, I will pay down payment and that's it. Little do they know, once they sign the purchase agreement, hindi pa pala sila pre-approved. By the time that they pay the down payment and then they say, naku, hindi ko kayang bayaran yung purchase price. Because let's say 700,000 purchase price and ang approved amount ng banko sa'yo is just 500,000. You will have to shell out 200,000 more.
Yeah.
Okay? And if you don't have that kind of money, and say for example, for some reason mangutang ka sa iba, may mautangan ka 200, well and good. But if not, okay, what happens is the deal won't push through, it will fall. And then basically what's gonna happen is whatever down payment you make will be forfeited. Okay? And that's the sad part. Okay?
Yeah.
So basically what we want and strongly recommend is for you guys to actually go for a pre-approval in banks. Okay? So that you know your purchasing power or purchasing capacity.
Yeah.
If the bank says, okay, your amount, kasi tatanungin ka dyan eh, ang bank will ask you, may mga site guideline questions yan na parang, how much are you paying, how much is your salary, how much is your expense, da-da-da-da-da-da. And then they will calculate, okay, Irvin, you are granted or you are allowed to borrow, sabihin natin 300,000 lang. Okay? So then, once you have the pre-approval, okay, usually pre-approval talaga, once you follow through with the documents and get approved, that's the time that you are able to actually find for properties within that budget. Unless na lang for some reason, I was approved 300,000, tapos biglang meron pala akong
Yeah, yeah.
200,000 sa pocket ko,
Yeah, and then
go ahead, di ba?
more down payment.
More
So,
down payment,
yeah,
di ba?
yeah.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
they require that.
Pero kung wala, like for a ordinary citizen, if you don't have enough money to pay as down payment, and your approved amount is just this amount, 300,000, look for a property that is within the range.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay?
Yeah.
Don't force yourself to buy something that is beyond your. Ang banks dito, they have already, it's not their first time to actually deal with pre-approvals.
Yeah.
Hindi lang ikaw ang nauna. Siguro your 7 million,
Yeah,
and millions
Totally.
of borrowers na yan. They know already this. They have a system for this.
Yeah, they
now
do.
that they have the pre-approval, okay, say for example, Irvin, you've been pre-approved 500,000. Okay? Now, punta na tayo. Of course, what are the pros and cons? Say, for example, what are the advantages of hiring or engaging the services of a realtor as compared to own searches made by the buyers themselves?
Okay, so when you hire a realtor, that means you are well represented.
Okay.
Yeah, so what I meant with that is during the negotiation process, and then the realtor knows how to do that. And sometimes, like, yung parang masa or an individual, you don't know what you don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And a lot of things you're shy to ask. And then one more thing, if you're being represented, and then a lot of the things that you don't know, we will just give that information to you, and then kumbaga ini-spoon feed namin kayo. These are all the things that you needed to know. If you have questions, especially like yung kagaya natin, like yung para taga sa atin, like you've Filipinos, we speak the same dialect. So that means hindi ka na mahihiya if you ask something. And when you talk to, you go right away, and then yung parang hindi ka represented, and then the prices, like how are you going to negotiate with that? Whereas when you have a realtor, we know the market, we have knowledge about the market, and we can always negotiate for something like, hey, how about if we will just include certain stuff in the house
Yeah.
that will just be included in the purchase price.
Uh-huh.
So things like that. But at the end of the day, it's really up to that individual if they want to have a realtor to represent them or not. But the advantage is you will be represented, and then we will all do the work for you. So you will just sit there, and then we'll ask, we'll do everything for you, and then kung parang we're unloading the stress that you have when you buy a property. So kung baga ganyan na side, and know that when you hire a real estate agent as a buyer, you don't pay us. So
Okay.
you don't pay us. It is the builder who will pay us, and also if you're buying a resale property, it is the seller. So
Oh.
yeah, wala kayong babayaran
As a buyer.
as a buyer.
Okay.
You don't pay anything. So why not hire a realtor who knows the market? Yeah, and then we have, of course, when we try to negotiate, parang may amo ka.
And I think the benefits then ng isang realtor, of course, kaming lawyers, we don't really discuss, okay, ito dapat ang i-watch out mo, buyer, in buying a property. That's not our job. That's actually the realtor's job.
Yeah.
Ang job naming lawyer in terms of real estate transaction is more of processing, paying
Yeah.
the purchase price. And kung sakali man magkaroon ng problema, if you want to sue the builder or the seller for some defect na napansin mo na
Yeah.
dapat wala, we can do that.
Yeah.
But knowing ahead of time what you need to look out for in buying a property, that's the realtor. And I do agree with Kat in the sense that when you hire a realtor, a licensed realtor for that matter, the nitty-gritty details of the purchase, of course, as commoners, we only take whatever representations the seller says, okay? Whatever they say, okay, ganun pala yun. But the realtor has more leverage in negotiating with the builder. For example, okay, instead of, let's say, upgraded materials, upgraded appliances, instead of a very cheap old appliance, is more of a high-tech Wi-Fi enabled whatever, smart refrigerator, smart whatever appliances. And then, for example, Regularly kasi usually pwedeng walang landscape. No? Hanggang rough grade lang, walang final grade. You have to pay for your own final grade. You have to pay for your own landscape. Usually, realtors can actually negotiate into something like, can you please include final grade? Can you please include landscape? And besides, the realtor will actually define and discuss to you whatever terms and agreements in a purchase so that the buyer will know. Tama yung sinasabi ni Kat kasi na parang tipong ano ba to, nandito, of course, comfortable din
Yeah.
ang mga buyers if, for example, they are talking to a fellow Filipino. Diba?
Yeah, totally.
Because if they are talking to someone who speaks a different language, may hiya sila magtanong. But,
And that's our nature.
yeah.
Yeah, so you
True.
have to, yeah, it is our nature na nahihiya tayo, and most of the time we just like, yeah, and then
Yeah.
and then later on, like, what
Napakahamot sa
like,
ulo.
what was he trying to say? Ano yun, tapos, and then you ask other people about it, right? So, yun yung yun yung parang, and I'm not saying for everyone, I'm not saying everybody, but, like yung commoners, yung, some simple folks, yung
Yes,
kumbaga,
yes.
ganyan, yeah.
I mean, hindi ko naman sinasabi na lahat naman ng Filipinos.
Yeah.
Of course, but a lot of Filipinos are migrating in Canada. Not just Filipinos, okay? There are so many foreign nationals who are migrating in Canada who are in the same situation.
And also, like, having a realtor, also, we are able to find you, for example, they wanted a certain area. So then we can suggest, like, how about this area? Kasi masyado ng mahal yan, blah, blah, blah. And then we can always, like, inform them ano yung mga area na yung malapit dito, malapit sa mga amenities and stuff like that. So that is one thing na, like hiring or having a realtor, kumbaga yung advantage kasi we can always tell them location-wise kung saan yung ano.
And also, Kat, for our viewers, maraming so basically, realtors have access to a database that are not very available to the common
it is not.
people. For example, common people like me would always rely on the website. Meron mga properties that are not listed on the website, that are not listed for sale or posted for sale, that actually realtors know.
Yeah, and also, like, the one that you see on the website, it isn't the complete information. I mean, it's the basic information that you need to know. Especially when you're buying resale, yung para kung baga, yung older homes, yung kunyari 5-year-old homes, we are able to see, like, kung baga, like, the history of the house. And then there are also remarks that only realtors to realtors are able to know. Then I will have to tell you, like, hey, this house is blah, blah, blah. Itong bahay na pala to is na kumbaga, nabaha pala ang basement. So, on the system, you won't see that information. So, kumbaga, as is yung nasa likod, walang permit yung basement. Wala yan sa general information na ilalabas doon sa MLS. Only realtors can see that because it's a private remark. Then we will have to tell buyers or clients about that. The thing is, and then they're mad. They're mad. I'm like, why is it as is? And then, for example, like, we wanted to see this house. I'm like, it is pending. So some sellers will allow you to look at the house. Some sellers hindi na. But it is still in the market. Okay, so those are the information that realtors can only see, not you. So yun yung mga, kumbaga, we have more information about the property. I'm talking about older homes, right? We have more information about that because we can always check the database. That's what the MLS or the realtor website. So we have everything in there.
Yeah. Ako, sa akin, wag nating i-shortchange, okay, yung mga realtors or lawyers who are doing this or who are charging you. For example na lang, i-charge kayo ng realtor, wag nyo nang, wag na kayong humingi ng discount, wag nyo nang baratin.
I give discounts though when I do with sellers. Seller lang.
Let the realtors or the lawyers
Or the
ourselves
lawyer.
provide the discount. Okay, guys, ganito yan eh. We are also trying to live a life, okay? And we are trying to earn income then. you have many options. Hindi lang sikat ang available na realtor in Edmonton. Marami.
Yeah,
Hindi lang
yeah.
ako ang available lawyer in
Uh-huh.
Edmonton. Marami.
Mhm.